what I'm getting is you're not just learning for yourself.
No.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I advocate for minority and women-owned businesses. I consider myself a mouthpiece. If I'm going to be the one in a pre-bid or whatever, or an outreach asking all the questions, because they won't ask the questions, right? I ask what people are thinking.
Do you feel like when you start doing that, you're kind of like putting little sparks out there and it gets a fire started and people gain confidence and follow your lead?
Yep. One of the outreaches I was at, I was asking a lot of questions and I was really challenging the project team.
Oh, yeah. That is Miss Demetria Bivens, the executive director of NAMAC in Dallas, DFW area. If you couldn't tell, she has this tenacious passion that she brings to everything. I got to interview her on a Saturday, met her in real life at the golf tournament Monday, then hung out with her Tuesday at a live panel discussion on mental wellness. And everything that I experienced in the interview that you're going to get a sense of was totally magnified when we were live and in person with her. As we were recording the darn episode, we had some Wi-Fi problems. So she was in the parking lot, then she went to the corridor. She was at UT Arlington finishing up a certificate that she's been working on, then in the classroom. And then finally, we wrapped up the final question because we had to cut out early before she started class. And to me, all of that is just a perfect example of how she carries herself out there in the world. Like, she ain't backing down. She made a commitment and she was going to see it all the way through the end. And I was just lucky enough for her to impart that gift with me and with you, the L&M family. As you listen to this conversation, she's going to let us know why she is on fire about changing the narrative. She even displayed some like real discipline in the moment. You'll catch it in the interview where she's like, I was just sick and tired of thought I was going to have to bleep it all out, but she held her tongue and we brought it back in. She tells a beautiful story where she challenged the room, a particular general contractor, about how many minorities were actually going to be on the job and celebrating completion of the job. And that ended up creating a safe space for people to really open up and connect. And that's what it takes. It's those types of leaders that are out there in the industry that we want to be highlighting and celebrating with you. And it's really no surprise that she has this passion and drive to transform the industry and change the narrative and speaks on behalf of minority contractors. She is the eldest of 8 siblings. And so she grew up having this nurturing spirit and taking care of those around her and sharing her gifts to serve others. And now she's doing it for the whole darn construction industry. I'm eager to hear your thoughts about what Demetria brings to you in this conversation. And as always, we're going to give a shout out to our patrons who are also out there making tremendous impact in the construction industry, walking a different path, showing their real true selves and treating people like human beings. Patrons, love you very much. Anyone interested in becoming a patron, go to learningsandmissteps.com, hit the become a member button, hit the other button. You know the deal. And here we go, baby. All right, y'all. So what's going on, L&M family? We're here with Miss Demetria Bivens today. And y'all need to know, she like took extra time out. She's out there building her capabilities, learning new stuff, working on another certificate to just continue burning it down out there. How are you doing, Miss Demetria?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Jesse.
You excited?
I am. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. So yes, I'm excited.
Well, first, we got to give a shout out to Jennifer Lacey, right? Because Jennifer is the one that connected us. I have like double the fun because I get to interview you today. And then Monday, I'm going to be hanging out with you.
That's going to be fun. NAMAC DFW Golf Tournament, our second Give Me a Shot annual golf tournament.
We got a bunch of people showing up.
We have about 100, a little over 100, a little over 100 folks will be there.
Woo-hoo-hoo. So, but you're not like just showing up there. You kind of have some responsibility with NAMAC.
Oh yeah. I'm the executive director. Actually, I'm the founder. I brought the NAMAC DFW chapter to Dallas Fort Worth 6 years ago.
Ah,
Yeah.
just because you were bored?
No, not at all. I went to an event, a national conference or something down in Houston, and I was looking, just kind of scoping out the room. This was about 13 years ago. I was scoping out the room, and I was like, there's a lot of Dallas Fort Worth people here. Why don't we have a chapter in Dallas Fort Worth? And so that seed was planted back then, and then 6 years ago, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and start a chapter. And so I recruited people like Jennifer and Amanda and Greg Obar. Like some of the original people are still with us. And so we just kind of went there, did the paperwork, set up the 501c3, got our accountant, legal representation, came up with the fee, all the stuff that they required. And we just made it happen. And here we are 6 years later, still going, meet the second Tuesday of every month.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's something, and you're kind of like, yeah, I do that, and oh, I'm getting, this certificate and studying and learning, making time for a podcast. Everything I've heard about you, Miss Demetria, is that you're a darn powerhouse out there changing the world. Is
Oh
that
man.
true?
I'm trying, I want to change the narrative of minority contractors.
Ah,
That's what I'm doing. I'm right here parked at UTA, University of Texas of Arlington right now, finishing up a construction management program that I've been taking. I'll leave today and I'll be finished. Thank God. We're doing project planning and scheduling today. So that's my last course. But yeah, I just want to change the narrative. I want minority contractors, especially being a Black female contractor, I want to be respected in this industry. Put the sweat equity in, and hey, after this, think I'm really equipped now, been in the industry for a while. So I'm ready. So my goal is to, just be respected and bring that value, showing the value that you bring to the table, other
mm,
than just being a check mark. You know what I
mm.
mean?
Yes, ma'am. So what compels you to change that narrative? What got under your skin that made you say, man, I got to do something about this?
Well, I have a consulting side as well. So I do a lot of the MWBE compliance, public engagement, community outreach type things. And I'm fortunate that I can sit at the table and I hear what's being said. I see it, all these, anyway. I'm gonna be careful.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, so and I was just like, I went through, during COVID, I went through the 10K, the Goldman Sachs 10K Small Business Program. I did Leadership North Texas, and I also completed the SBA Emerging Leaders. And all of these conversations was about pivoting and, looking at the financials. And I was like, you know what? I really want to be a contractor now. I want to start doing something.
I figured I better come back inside the building. They said my phone got too hot, so it shut me off.
We were talking about when COVID hit, you took a bunch of classes and got fired up.
Yes, absolutely. I did as I was mentioning, I did the Goldman Sachs 10K Small Business Program, and as well as got accepted in Leadership North Texas, and also completed the SBA Emerging Leaders Program. And right there, it kind of helped me start really looking into financials, your profit and loss, your balance sheet, kind of getting yourself ready to become bankable. You know what I mean? Instead of just printing stuff out of your QuickBooks and go, here you go. So, so it really has enlightened me on my financials and really what people are looking for. Even with bonding, people, you just got to have your stuff together. And that's what I'm saying again about changing that narrative. I mean, if we come, I always say,
Third time is a charm. So you expanded your awareness around business and getting your stuff in order, but there's still this thing like what I'm getting is you're not just learning for yourself.
no.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yeah, I advocate for minority and women-owned businesses. I consider myself a mouthpiece. If I'm going to be the one in a pre-bid or whatever, or an outreach asking all the questions because they won't ask the questions, right? I ask what people are thinking.
Yes. Do you feel like when you start doing that, you're kind of like putting little sparks out there and it gets a fire started and people gain confidence and follow your lead?
Yep. The last outreach I was at, well, one of the outreaches I was at, I was asking a lot of questions and I was really challenging the project team, not the minority partners on the team, but the actual GC team, right?
Yep.
I asked them like, hey, once you guys get this project going, how many people in this room are going to be able to go by this project and go, hey, I was a part of that project. That project here in my community. And, and it made them uncomfortable. And one told me, and one of the guys that was in there, he was like, man, I felt like the Holy Spirit was in this room.
Yeah.
But it does. And then you should have saw the movement. I mean, people started networking. They felt comfortable talking. People, the way it should have been in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. So is that something that just sprouted in you here in recent times, or did that start in your youth?
I've always been this way.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of 8 kids. I did the whole cheerleading, FCA, FHA, FTA, all those little clubs. I was always doing something, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've always running my mouth, as my mom used to say.
But you're doing it to help others.
Yes.
You use that gift. I mean, I think you and I know. Like we probably have that in common because all my life it's like, boy, when are you going to shut up? Like, just stop already.
Right.
But it took a long time for me to get to a point where I was like, hey, I got this tool that I can use to help other people.
Yes. That's the whole thing about NAMAC. I mean, it is definitely a passion of mine. And when we meet, I meet with people all the time, sometimes they don't even know. I mean, I'm learning as they're learning. Or I'll put myself through something. I was talking to, there's one of the school districts have a large bond program. And man, this is so much paperwork, but I put myself through it. And so now I can help other contractors because they'll call, hey, any of your members going to be bidding this work. But now I can go through, talk to a contractor, go, hey, yeah, it's 398 pages. Yeah, you're going to have to read the entire document because there's all these forms are embedded inside of the document. So you can't skip anything. But I'm like, if I did it, you can do it. So I try to urge people that way. I kind of do it myself and then just try to help whoever want to listen or help or whoever wants my help.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I've done it. I know what it feels like. Let me help you. Like, if that doesn't encourage people, I don't know what else does. So what was it about construction that attracted you to say, I'm going to go share all my superpowers, all my greatness, all my sass in construction?
It just kind of happened. I had my first business. I didn't have an exit plan, nothing, right? I was running about 4 states simultaneously for this large owner, doing document imaging. I was converting paper documents to digital, and when the market crashed in 08, 09, I didn't know what the heck I was going to be doing, And I went and met with this guy. Matter of fact, he's still around. I went to go meet with him because I always looked up to him. I always loved meeting strong people and being around strong people. Yeah. And so, and I told him, I said, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just don't know what I'm going to do. And so he gave me that book, Who Moved My Cheese? Is that the? Yeah. So he gave me that one, and there was a construction company. I went to go meet with my accountant. There was a construction company on the same floor. And I just went in and go, hey, I was thinking about document control. How can I get into this industry with what I know, with some skill set? Well, I didn't do document control, but I was a really good business development person. I was helping people find jobs. And I mean, it just happened immediately. I didn't know anything about construction. When I got in, I couldn't tell you a subcontractor from a G. I mean, I absolutely knew nothing, but what I am good at, I'm a connector and I'm not afraid to talk and I'm not afraid to go after the business. And I can do that, you know, and especially with some of our, even some of the largest, you know, I've done BD for, you know, general contractors that move from other states that just want to come get their feet in. And, you know, you can save a lot of time when you already have relationships, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I think, thank you for sharing that, Demetria, because that's like one of them cheat codes that everybody has, right? So L&M family, if y'all didn't hear that, you've got some inherent natural traits and skills that you just got to use them. You just got to share them, right? We've all been blessed with gifts and talents. And when we share those with the world, amazing things can happen. And you've proven that.
But you gotta love it. You have to love this industry. And it's, you know, that's why I wanted to really, when you know, reached out, I was like, oh crap, he probably read my LinkedIn. He read my LinkedIn remark.
Two things. One, I've heard from Jen and from Annaford, like, man, you got to talk to Demetria. Like, I know. I got like the years coming. And the other part is I have a beautiful tan also.
Yes.
So minorities in the industry, it's an important space for me. And I was reflecting back on our previous episodes, and I realized, like, man, I'm doing a miserable job of celebrating women in the industry. I did the count, and like 22% of my interviews were of women, and there's no excuse for that. Like, as many people as we know with LinkedIn and everything else, that is just sheer laziness on my part. And then I said, okay, gap. And I said, ooh, and now I have an excuse to like get out of my insecurity, because you're a pretty damn powerful person. And so for me to say, hey, you got time to talk, it's a little intimidating. I'm like, no more excuses, Jess. You just need to go reach out and start making this happen. So thank you for fitting us in on your lunch break while you're out there expanding your knowledge.
Yeah, I'm back in classroom. I'm here by myself right now, so.
All good. Okay, so here's another question. We'll take it back. As far back as you're willing to go, what were your earliest career aspirations?
Oh, wow. Well, you know, I never could keep a job, you know, because I thought I knew everything, right? But I had some really good jobs. But I just knew that there was always something more that I wanted to do. Okay. And, you know, and being an entrepreneur, I mean, that's me. That's just everything in my being. I mean, the challenges, the bullshit that comes along with it, all of that is just me. The risk, you know, I'm a risk taker. Don't tell me I can't do it, because I'm gonna show you I can.
So how many? I mean, I get the sense that you've jumped a couple of times, like from industry to industry, role to role. Would you mind sharing a list of like the different things you've done?
I've done, man, you know, I'll go way back. So my mom was a nurse, and I was a candy striper at the age of 13. So I thought that I was going to be a nurse. That's how I paid for all of my cheerleader uniforms, anything that I did, any activities I was involved in, I had to work. So candy striper. And then when I got old enough, I was like, hey, I need to get paid like these people. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing hey, I'm passing out water just like them. I'm helping them feed and all that stuff. So from there, you know, I started out going to school for a nurse and got in my clinicals, and that was not for me. It wasn't for me. Broke my mom's heart, but it just wasn't for me. Then I dabbled into corporate private. I worked at EDS, Electronic Data Systems, back in the day. That was owned by Ross Perot Sr. I did flight attendant. There's nothing that I haven't.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But I was a young mom at the time, and I was like, okay, this is just being a waitress up in the air. I don't want to do this. So I've kind of dibble-dabbed in everything, but in 1997 is when I started my first business, though. Yeah, and I did that until the market crashed in 08, 09, and then I've been in the construction industry ever since.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just learning, you know, meeting great people like Jennifer and I mean, I got tons of mentors. That's so important to me, is having mentors, and just always I just want to be fed, that
Mhm.
I want to be fed. And I'll go to the big companies. They open up their doors. Like there's one company, I'm not even doing any business with them right now, but I'm like, hey, I need some help in these areas. Okay, Demetria, let's set you up with our training and professional development department. And so I went and got some knowledge, and then I went to the office and I set my expectations for my office.
Okay.
Like, we may be small, but we always think like a big company.
That's it. It's mindset and effort. You can be a
Yep.
small company, but you got big mindset and big effort, you're gonna go somewhere.
Yep, I agree.
So you mentioned family. What kind of impact has your family had on you, and what does family mean to you?
Man, family is everything to me. I'm from a large family. My mom there was 13 of them. My mom had 8 kids, 2 sets of twins, and I'm the oldest.
Woo!
Um, so I had a lot of responsibilities as a child, helping my mama with her kids, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I have 2 sons. Let me back up. I have 6 brothers and a sister, and I have 2 sons. My youngest son just celebrated his 35th birthday last
All
week.
right.
Yeah,
All right.
and then my oldest one, I lost him 6 years ago he had a car accident. So I lost him. March 1st was 6 years. And that's why NAMAC is kind of bittersweet, because my last conversation with him is when I was coming back from Miami Lakes getting NAMAC approved. So it's like we gained something, but I lost something as well. But my grief, I needed, God just gave me what I needed at that time, because I poured everything into NAMAC. I think I was running NAMAC before I was even running my business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get it out there, which he did. So I'm a grandmother. I raised 2 of my 5 grandkids. My deceased son left me with 4 kids, and 2 of them, 3 of them I have custody of. But 2 of them, I have an 8 and 9-year-old that lives with me. So, and they keep us very busy.
Yeah.
My husband, I mean, he's one of my biggest supporters and cheerleaders, because he helped out with the kids as well, and kind of he tried to keep me calm.
Yeah.
To try to balance things out. But yeah, so I go back and I look, and I think that, especially on my mom's side and my dad's side of the family, there's just some strong people. So I had a lot of people to look up to when I was growing up, a lot of people. I just told one of my cousins, she was giving somebody a shout out because of her career. She's an educator. And I was like, man, you inspired me. You inspired me to be a cheerleader, to get all involved in school, and she never even knew it. I don't think she never knew it, but it's just so many people that I just pull from, even to this day, constantly.
Well, I'm seeing a theme. You're the eldest sibling. You got your own family. You're raising your grandkids, and so and there's a tremendous, like, this theme of responsibility, of growing, nurturing, and supporting others. And now you're doing that for the community at large.
Yes.
So how do you care for yourself, Demetria?
I've done 2 vacations this year already. So
woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah.
There's this place in Dallas called King Spa. Man, I tell you, last Saturday, I spent 6 hours in that place. Massage, facials, just going to all the different steam rooms and saunas. So I try to, I said I'm gonna make that a point once a month to go treat myself to something like that once a month.
Yes.
And recently I had a car accident, and I didn't know how good a chiropractor can make you feel. So I'm doing that like twice a month now, even, yeah. I mean, I'm done with the whatever. I had like a little concussion or something. I got teeth. And the other thing is, like, I party hard. I talk to my friends.
Yeah. Well, what's amazing is, like, there's these big this really big traumatic events. I got in a car accident. You're usually like, yeah, now I just do this. Like, you just persevere. Like, you just roll with it.
That's in my blood. That's just how I was raised. We don't have time to be, my mom used to say, if you fall, fall on your back so you can just get back up. I've had adversities. I've had all kinds of stuff. I'm 50. I'll be 59 next month. And
okay.
yeah, so I have, I've truly have lived life. I have lived my life, and if it's God's will, I want him to give me a whole lot of more years, because there's still things I want to do. There's things I want to get accomplished. I want to see my grandbabies graduate from high school and get in college and all that good stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the amount of life that you're giving to others, I think there's like this magic formula that says the people that give and serve, they get extra time. You get extra time out here to continue giving and serving. So what I know about you so far, you're probably going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to do that for all them grandbabies.
Yeah.
And we need it. We need you. We need more people like you out there, and the people that you're inspiring. You mentioned mentorship a little while ago. What does it feel like to see the people that you've been mentoring, to see them thrive?
Oh, wow. It's awesome. I'm going to give you an example. There was, she's a Black female electrical master electrician, been working small jobs or whatever. I've seen her around for years. I've seen her around, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And she's like, I have an opportunity for you. I mean, she did, and just stuff like that, bringing them in, helping them get certified, because that minority certification is really kind of like a competitive advantage when they need to meet numbers, because it's always good just to have it just in case. But I also believe in providing quality service as well. So, but anyway, just watching them go from thinking that all they can do is residential and getting into the commercial side, referring them to who my insurance company, referring them to the bonding, whatever they need on the project, just watching them being able to read an RFP and submit on it. It's those little things, because again, I told you, we're trying to change the narrative of things around here.
Yes, ma'am.
And be real, be real contractors. I mean, it's bad enough people say in Texas, like, you guys don't even have to be licensed to be a contractor. It's like anybody can go throw up a sign and say, hey, I'm gonna be a contractor.
Yeah.
If you don't have those systems and processes in order, it ain't gonna happen. Because it's really tough. It's like I'm taking my last class on project planning and scheduling right now. This is the last one, but it takes time. So when people, if they don't want to go through it, I'll go through it, and then I'll forever share, give what I'm learning and what I know.
You ain't kidding. My dad, I'm a second generation plumber. I seen my dad start his business 3 or 4 times. He got chewed up and spit out.
Yeah.
What was absent was those systems and processes. Like, he could go do high quality work, and that man, I never want to be able to work like him, because that man to this day can still outwork me. I don't want to work that way, but that gap of the systems, the processes, the planning, the banking, the financial management, all of that was absent. So it was high highs and low lows.
Yeah,
I still remember, like, I go help them on the weekends, and we'd have breakfast tacos, and what we would do was we would open up the hood of the truck and put them on the carburetor so they would stay warm. We didn't have money to be going to the gas station to go get burgers. Like, we were just gonna make it. We gotta make it. Oh, memories. Okay, so here's the tough question. I don't know if you're ready for this one. In your experience, and you have an amazing amount of experience, years, and contribution in the industry and in your community, what is a significant learning that you've had as a result of a painful misstep?
I just had recently, and it is still very fresh. It is turning. Okay, first of all, I turned something over to my estimator.
All right, y'all. We got a bit of a change here. Yes, I'm breaking up the flow, and that's not going to change. It's going to stay the same. But the L&M family has spoken out, and we've heard you loud and clear. What we are doing is the backstage passes, these clips that you're not going to be able to listen to on this audio version, are now going to be available to everybody on our YouTube channel. So hit up our YouTube channel, subscribe, follow, like, hit all the buttons, and give yourself a little bit of a learnings and missteps marathon and catch up on all the outtakes. We want to hear your comments and we want to know what you're learning from these things, because all of our guests have shared some pretty intimate missteps and have had some pretty profound learnings. And we hope that you can take that and apply that going forward and even teach it to your people, the people you care about. So that is going to be the deal going forward. Thank you for supporting us, and back to the show.
The funny thing, it's like, nobody got me into this. I did this all by myself.
Right. I got to get myself out of this mess, but I did.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I love it. Okay. Well, I know you're fixing to get back into class, so
Yes. Thank you so much. And I can't wait with you Monday on the golf course.
Yes, ma'am. We will be hanging out. We will be having fun. I really appreciate you being, like I said, tenacious and keeping logging in and finding the spots where we get connectivity. And maybe we'll do a little extra recording on Monday live. All right, Miss Demetria, thank you. We your perseverance for this darn episode, for this interview, is like a reflection of your perseverance in life. And I know you got some good stuff for the L&M family out there. So the final question is, what footprint do you intend to leave on the world?
Passion. I want to leave. I want people, the footprint for me is passion. Whatever we do or whatever I do, for me, if I don't have that passion, I can't make it happen. It won't come into fruition. But I think with passion, I mean, whatever it is, if it's love hard. If it's work hard. If it's your grandbabies, if it's, whatever it is on your personal side or that business side, we have to have that passion. And with that passion, it ties into our purpose, Oh, wow, that's good. That just came to me. But it is, and we are all here. We are all here in this universe because we have a purpose. And our purpose has to be something where we are inspiring and respecting other folks. And whatever I do, everybody tells me, oh, you have so much energy, and which I do. And it's just because I just get high on life, especially when it's something I really love doing. My advocacy for the community, if it's whoever I'm bringing into my company, and not everything is all hunky dory all the time. But since I have that passion, no one can take it away from me.
Yes.
So that's my footprint. It's just passion and living in your purpose.
Love it. Well, Demetria, we've met, and in very short order, for all you, the L&Mers out there, you don't even know, like, I got to interview Demetria Saturday morning. We bounced back and forth with connectivity issues. I got to meet her in real person Monday at a golf tournament. You're like the czar, the queen, the commander of NAMAC. I got to meet executive director, that one. Got to meet all your people. Got to hang out with you Tuesday evening at the mental wellness discussion. And y'all, if y'all can't feel her energy and the passion that she talked about, like, it's real, it's contagious. Like, I just want more and more Demetria. And then, like you just said, if it's work hard. If it's love hard. Like, it's not that complicated. And that's so damn powerful, Demetria. You got it going on, girl.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So did you have fun?
I had a great time. The golf tournament was awesome. The mental wellness, I don't even know if it was a workshop, presentation, discussion, whatever. It was all of that, right? But it just totally blew me away. All the transparency. I thought it was a much needed conversation to have. And, I know for me, it's just making me very comfortable to talk about what I'm feeling and knowing that there's something else I need to do to deal with an issue that I'm dealing with.
Yes, absolutely.
And I really appreciate you, Jen. The whole panel was awesome.
Yes.
Truly awesome.
Yeah. There's healing to be had and it's super amazing when we do it together. We've got to
Yes.
we got to share that, right? We got to share our pain, we got to share our struggles, we got to share our wins, because as we do that, we give others permission to do the same thing. And so I'm grateful to you for making this fit, because I know you're a busy woman, business leader, got all kinds of balls in the air, making all kinds of things happen. So thank you for making the time, Demetria. And this episode, I'm going to crank it out and get it posted tonight. What do you think about that?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, did I tell you? She's like super amazing. Can't wait to hang out with her again. Now, there at the very end, we were talking about the live panel that we had around mental wellness. We had that in Dallas, Texas. Well, actually, we were in Arlington, and it was a panel discussion with the Dallas Community of Practice Lean Group. And it's actually available. If you want to go back and watch the replay, take it in, check out the No BS with Jen and Jess page on YouTube or LinkedIn, and you'll be able to catch the recording of that really deep conversation. There were tears shared. Many people opened up. Many L&M family members and No BS tribe members were present. So we really got to connect. It was a beautiful thing. And of course, we've got to give a shout out to some L&M family members. And these family members I'm just going to say they've been abducted. I don't know how consistent listeners they are, but I do know they exhibit the traits of L&M family members. So this shout out is for Kyle Weller and Lee Crump. Giving them a really special shout out because they are my first client. They brought me in to serve their business. Said it before, I am now an independent out there looking to serve progressive business leaders who are committed to serving their people to a greater degree. And they trusted me enough to bring me in and interact with their leadership group. And it was an amazing experience, and I'm looking forward to more with them. So all you folks out there that know Kyle and Lee, give them a fist bump. Thank you from the L&M family, and we'll see you again soon. Peace.
Man, you are one dedicated listener, sticking with us all the way through to the very, very end. Please know that this podcast dies without you, and we invite you to share how the episode's impacting you, along with your thoughts, questions, and suggestions. You've been gracious with your time, so we added social media links in the show notes to make it super easy for you to connect with us. Be kind to yourself, stay cool, and we'll talk at you next time.